Hey guys, so yesterday when we were drawing bells, I promised that I would show you guys how to draw ribbons today. And we're using a 100 pack of Crayola Supertips, but you can use the markers of your choice for this video. So we're going to start with a very fresh, clean, brand new piece of paper, and I'm going to make you guys a little sick while I noodle with the camera a little bit. And we're going to start with a lighter shade of red, and we're going to first draw a box. Then we're going to draw 2 butterfly wings on each side, and then behind the butterfly wings we're going to draw, I guess, tails? I don't know. Like that. So that is your basic bow shape. And next, we're going to color it in. You can leave white highlight if you want, and the way to do that is color it to the side, like that. And then, on the other side, color only the edge, leaving some white. And we are working with water-based markers. You can work with whatever markers you're comfortable with, but these are water-based, so they do take longer to dry, and this is just plain sketchbook paper. So you want to be careful about not putting too much water on the paper surface, because it'll tear up your paper and it'll start to pill, and it'll be hard to work with. So you just want to be patient and give your layers a chance to dry. So we've got our base layer for our bow right here. And let's try drawing a different type of bow while we let this base layer dry. So we're going to move our paper over just a bit, and we're going to draw one of those loopy bows, and we're going to draw it, when you're drawing those sort of bows, they tend to be circular, and we'll start with the first loop, and then you sort of want to think about it like a rose or a rosette, where they have loops coming out from the middle. So if you wanted to draw roses like this or succulents like this, you could do that too. And the loops are sort of like little houses, right? So you've got your roof, and then you've got the parts coming down from the side, and if you have room, you can even draw the back side of those loops. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see mine's really loose. And if you want, you can even go grab one of those bows. I'm sure you have a couple lying around. You can go grab a couple of those bows to help you know what it's supposed to look like. So we're going to go ahead and start filling this in as well. And it is going to make it harder to see the lines you already drew. I apologize for that. You're just going to have to try to remember where you drew the lines. And you can still see the original lines are a little darker once you've markered over them. All right, so we've got that basic layer for our bow, and you can leave it at this point if you really want to. We're going to go back to our red bow and add our next layer of color. So you want a shade of red that's darker than that pink you put down. So we're going to go ahead and go with this, and we are going to outline that rectangle we drew first and outline where the bow overlaps the tied part of the bow. And then we're going to go ahead and block this in from this line down. All of that is the cast shadow, and the cast shadow is the area of darkness that this part of the bow, because it overlaps this part of the bow, that's blocking the light. It's important to know that kind of stuff because these are the sort of things that you can use anytime with any drawing, not just when you're drawing with me or when you're drawing with bows. So we have the cast shadow on our bow, and you see I have that area where I kind of messed up earlier, so I'm just going to extend that a bit to help cover it up, and we're going to add a little bit of red down at the bottom of that bow, and then we're going to show where the fabric has folded in on itself. And since this is, since these are water-based markers like we talked about earlier, they've made the paper really damp and a little crinkly, and it's going to be prone to tearing right now. So we're going to move back over to that light blue bow we were working on. Okay, so we're going to want to grab a slightly darker blue, and we're going to color in all of the area that would be in shadow, and hopefully it'll be dark enough when I layer it. Not so much, unfortunately. I was hoping it would be dark enough that I could still see the parts of the bow that I drew behind. So I'm going to grab a even darker blue, and I'm going to just darken that up a little bit so you can see those again. And I'm just going to keep doing that for the whole bow, and I'm going to do that in time lapse. right, so we've got a pretty decent bow right there. Now let's finish this version up. We need an even darker red, so you're going to need 3 shades of red or 3 shades of blue, basically 3 shades of any color that you are using. And we could even go darker than this. This isn't really dark enough. And we're adding some shadows, just darkening things up. In fact, I think I might grab a darker red than this, but this needs to have a chance to dry. And of course, there are loads of other kinds of bows that you can draw. You can draw, if you like manga, for example, you can draw like cute floppy bows like that and block that in, except for where the light's gonna hit the ribbon, because most ribbon is made out of satin, and satin really reflects the light. Satin's really shiny. So start out with that light mint green as our base color. What are some other sort of bows? Maybe a bow that's more stringy, for example. So we'll start with a narrow rectangle, and then we're going to draw 2 loops and some string, and then to start with, you're just going to thicken up the lines on those loops and thicken up the lines on those strings, and we'll let that dry. We're going to go all the way back to this red bow, and we're just going to use this very dark red, which is nice, just to add some final details. Really help our colors pop. So that's the red bow finished. Let's go back to that green. We're going to, because mint green is sort of a blue green, we're going to go with a green that's a little bit darker than mint, but still very blue green. And I'll zoom in for you guys. And this is a knotted, sort of a soft, floppy, knotted bow. All right, so while that one dries, we'll go in with a darker purple, like maybe not so much that, because the purple I grabbed was kind of a reddish purple. So let's see if we can't find a good red purple. Whoops, maybe this one. It's kind of a pretty color. Now, with a string bow like this, we really want to show where the light's hitting. So we're going to darken more of it. Let me zoom out a bit. Sorry about that. And we're going to darken most of these strings hanging in the background. And then we need to let that dry before we can go in with our last color. So have you guys noticed that with most of these bows, we've been using 3 shades of whatever color we're using. That's not the right color. caps usually don't match the color, so you want to do a little test swatch on the side with Crayolas to make sure you're grabbing the right thing. It's going to be a blue. Oh yeah. Oh well, I guess that's just going to have to be good enough. And let's grab a, let's see, hopefully this will be, yeah. So for that green bow, we're adding one more layer of shadow. And then for that purple bow, we're going to tighten it up a bit. Okay, so today I taught you guys how to draw 4 different bows in 4 different colors. There are loads of types of bows and ways to draw bows out there. So just go on and look around you and collect some reference and do your research and practice, and you're going to be great at drawing bows. And these little bows are perfect to add to your little Christmas tree or on top of your presents that you're going to draw, or around the neck of a teddy bear, or in somebody's hair, or as a bow tie. Use your imagination. If you want more tutorials like this, please keep checking the channel because I am going to upload one Draw With Me drawing tutorial every day from now until Christmas. And consider subscribing because these Draw With Me tutorials are going to be a thing in 2017 for the channel. If you are an artist who's looking for something a little more advanced than this, keep an eye on my regular tutorials playlist because I do comic and watercolor and marker tutorials quite frequently. And if you guys ever have any special requests, let me know and I'll do my best to try and fill them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and keep watching for more Draw With Me videos coming up really soon. Bye guys!